All right, y'all. It's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts podcast. Oh, what's up? What's up? Welcome to another
we got the short version
episode of the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts podcast. This is the inaugural WWE because Justin doesn't like any other wrestling. Squared Circle session.
We'll talk other shit too. It's just not worth it right now.
It's not worth it.
I'll probably bash him a lot.
Listen, I've been looking around on social medias, and there are a lot more wrestling organizations than I thought.
Oh, fuck yeah.
There are so many wrestling organizations. I had no idea, man. Oh, Jesus. So, okay. We'll just stick to WWE for tonight. Hopefully, we'll get into other organizations eventually. But for now, we'll stick to the main one, the one that we all watch.
Had we started this a couple months ago, it would have started WWE/AEW because the shit they were doing over there was fucking hilarious.
Why is that?
They're using somebody who's no longer working for their company and who was fired by their company when he actually quit. They're using him to try to get people over. And they can't even say his fucking name or they'll get sued.
Ah, okay.
And they dropped the video from fucking Wembley and it lined up word for fucking word.
Yeah.
What Punk said happened. They made themselves look like fucking clowns.
Aaron says, why cover the minor leagues? Now, you know what? To be fair, right. Aaron, NXT is the minor leagues. To be fair. That's what I tried explaining to Alex the other night.
NXT carries bigger numbers than AEW, so you can't even say that.
No,
if you're considering AEW any kind of threat.
No. So AEW is a rival league. You're not understanding. It's a minor leagues for the WWE because they draft these players up. They pull these players up, wrestlers up to the big leagues, to the big show from NXT. So it's the minor leagues. The other ones are competitors. Just because they're not as good doesn't mean they're not competitors and that they're not, trying to be with the big boys. NXT is still better than AEW. Mike says, no, they don't. As in, you mean they don't pull better numbers than AEW? I mean, I still don't watch a lot of NXT. I wanted to last night, but the wife was like, I don't want to watch that tonight. Let's watch something else. So
it's not worth watching.
NXT and NXT isn't worth watching.
NXT, no,
yeah.
Tonight's not worth watching.
NXT looks like it's worth watching, though. I mean, you see some of these guys coming up. And now I'll start with this because I told you I wanted to ask you this anyway tonight. And you told me I need to go back and watch some of his older stuff from NXT. So we'll start here. I'm not understanding the draw with Ilya Dragunov. And now you're telling me that if I watched him in NXT, I would understand it more. Like, I see this dude come up. I know that he was the NXT champion, and everybody raves about this guy. I watched his match with Ricochet, and I like Ricochet. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. I think he's thrilling to watch. He goes above and beyond.
Like the flashy.
He puts his body on the line, man.
You would like AEW.
I probably would. I like watching the athleticism. Like, I love the old days of WCW with Juventud Guerrera, Rey Mysterio, Psychosis.
You would like AEW.
Or Billy Kidman. Like, what the hell? Those were awesome matches.
You like WCW before WCW learned how to tell stories.
Oh, here
before
you go.
Eric Bischoff came in. You would like AEW. AEW is all about wrestling, no stories.
Well, old school
There's
WWE
no meaning behind the matches.
I'm going to do this. Old school WWF was not about storytelling either. That's something that only came. No, I don't remember like real story. Like, okay, you go with the backstage interviews. I don't think that there was the storytelling was not on the same level as it is today. But anyway,
using Elizabeth, WWE's always done it.
But it's a lot different today. Anyway, I want to get to Mike's comment because he said NXT can't hold a candle to AEW. I want to let you take that one. I also want to let you know that
everybody has their own opinion, but the fact that if you look at the ratings, well, I started listening to a lot of Jim Cornette, and they go through the ratings on it. they took over Saturday night for whatever fucking show they have that doesn't. Why they have more than one show makes zero sense. But they took over with 1.3 million viewers because they followed a playoff basketball game. In the first 15 minutes, they lost half. By the end of 2 hours, they were under 300,000. They average 700,000 through an entire show. Watching on a nationally broadcast station in prime time.
So I just want to address really quick that our friend Mike in chat, he was our guest this past Monday night on the show. So guys, if you missed Monday night's show, make sure you go back on Facebook or on YouTube, catch the show there. We are going to get it up on Spotify.
Wrestling guy too?
Yes, he loves. Let me get to that in just a second. So yeah, you'll be able to check it out on Spotify, Apple, and all your favorite podcast applications eventually here. We're going to try to get it out by the weekend, but we want to make sure we do this right because after Mike left, we went back to our usual stuff. So we want to split the episode up and I want to edit it out so that you only get Mike's portion of the show for that episode. Mike, I'm doing this for you just in case you want to share with friends and family that may not be so into our, rated R superstar kind of deal over here. So we're going to split the episode into two episodes for you. So that should be available by the weekend. But if you want to watch the whole thing, guys, go through YouTube or Facebook. Facebook is generally the place to be. We're also on Rumble if you want to check us out over there, whatever platform you guys use. But yes, he is a big wrestling fan. If you listen,
yes,
if you
I'm
listen
a big
back,
story guy.
If you listen,
respond. Hold on.
Back to Monday's episode, like he tried to do his own podcast at one point during the beginning of COVID, and then he ended up getting busy again, so he couldn't do it. So I told him, when we get this wrestling show up and running, we would love to have him as a guest to talk about this stuff. So be prepared because he's going to be joining us.
Sounds like you would know AEW.
Yeah.
I mean.
So anyway, go ahead. You address that.
Well, now I lost the question.
NXT can't hold a candle to AEW. That one, right?
No. Oh, the big story. Yes.
Oh, I'm big story guy. Yes.
The matches have to make sense. You can't AEW has great matches. Are they as great as the one fucking dirt sheet writer that grades them thinks? No. But they're good matches. A lot of the times, though, you can't make the stories make sense. And why do they have an issue? Why are they doing this? Aside from you want to see this guy wrestle this guy, there you go.
So as far as AEW goes, he said Collision is the B show for AEW. They don't put any effort into that, so he agrees. So what is there? There's Collision and there's Dynamite, right?
They have 3. They have a third one too.
There's a third one.
I can't remember what Rampage.
Okay. So here's my question to you then. So you're talking storylines are important. All the matches have to make sense. AEW is just random matches. And that's a Tony Khan thing. I think he just wants the names. But
no, this was his dream. This is what he did as a kid. He fantasy books.
Yes, I get it. But can you kind of say that AEW is kind of akin to if they did it this way, if it was more akin to boxing or UFC, where you had people that had to, like, the wrestlers had to climb the ranks and earn their spot at title shots. They had to go from 10 to 6 to 2 to 1. Like that would make sense, wouldn't it? Random matches picked out of nowhere. That makes no sense. I'll agree with you there. But what if they had rankings, like a ranking system where these guys went up and down in the rankings?
They're not random matches. He goes out and spends money on.
You just said they're random matches.
Because and he feeds into the fans or what he wants to see. That's what I'm saying. They're random because they make no sense. It's a great match. If you could build a story behind it, it would be 10 times better.
So I do like the storytelling. I really don't mind that. But I also like what I just touched on. Like, I think the WWE would benefit along with the stories if you had a ranking system. Even AEW, I think AEW would really benefit from it. Having a ranking system where you have the top dog and then you have these number one contenders are picked out of nowhere for WWE. Like, how the hell do you get fucking Logan Paul or Jake Paul or whoever the fucking Paul it is? How is he the number one contender out of nowhere?
Do you want to
Out
know
of
the
nowhere.
honest answer?
I know the honest answer. I'm with you on the honest answer.
It's because
This is why he's the number one contender.
Saudi likes the big names, and Saudi pays a lot of money to get the shows there.
What's up, Tammy?
So they're gonna give them big names.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
but
all
he
it
is like the big sponsor. This dude, I
But
saw
I'll tell you what, it's not out of nowhere. The kid's earning it.
It's not, dude.
He is
listen.
a
No,
great heel.
Did you see the stat where he's defended his title twice in like the last 171 days, 180 days, or it's probably up to 200 days by now? He's defended his title twice. Please, can someone confirm? That's the U.S. title. This is not the heavyweight championship. This is not the universal title. This is a title that should be on the line twice a month, at least in my mind. If this is a mid-card title, this needs to be put on the line more often. People like championship matches. I don't care if he won it in his fifth match. Look at Sami Zayn since WrestleMania. How many times has he put that title on the line? How many times has he wrestled since then? 3 or 4 since WrestleMania? He's defended the title at least twice, but he's wrestled 3 or 4 times since WrestleMania. That's supposed to be a workhorse champion.
Also paid for that title.
Yes, Prime is worth a ton. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to talk about making matches out of nowhere. That's making a match out of nowhere to me. Because he has money. That's the reason. He's wrestled twice in almost 200 days.
They give it to you a few weeks in advance so you can build a story with 2 guys who can build a story out of it.
You can build a story in 2 weeks. You're okay with that? 2 weeks?
Yes.
Plus, if you Tommy, I have
got to go
game.
back too. You got to like pay attention to what has happened between characters in the past too. They've had a run-in before.
Like I said, AEW had rankings in the early days, and they made sense. But now they keep flip-flopping rankings and open challenges. See, I think the rankings thing would really help them. If they're not going to do stories, the rankings matter because that makes it more like an actual sport to me. It makes it feel like an actual sport akin to UFC or boxing. You have to work your way up the ladder.
Mike there saying Collision's the second tier show or the B show. It's only the B show because Punk's gone. That show was made because the locker room had an issue with Punk. And they gave him his own show. And while he was there, Collision out got more views than Dynamite.
So our producer Jared, who is trudging along, like having a horrible time at Virginia Beach, absolutely moping around the hotel and that beach. He wants to know, speaking of stories, here's a hypothetical question. Given AJ Styles' desire to be a heel in a potential match with The Rock, if they were to star in a buddy cop movie together, who would play the good cop and who would be the bad cop, and why?
That's got so much to it.
How would either one of them play the good cop?
First of all, is that an AI generated question?
It has 110%. It has to be.
Because I've yet to hear anything about AJ Styles wanting to be a heel in a match with The Rock.
It would be fun.
It wouldn't work because you can't flip Rock face right now.
Alex, you can definitely play that game online. I don't know. I think The Rock would be the bad cop. I think AJ Styles would try to be the good cop. I don't see him being a heel in a cop movie with The Rock. The Rock just has that attitude and that air about him. All right. So, Aaron, I'm glad you got. Oh, hey, were you trying to click something too? Yes, 100%. Okay. Why are you still clicking? Stop clicking. Jared, I need you. Justin's touching buttons. For this match, yes, Cody can't lose the title this early. It will end in a DQ. Aaron and I talked about this a little bit last night. I wanted to ask this question.
I like that
when you guys
finish.
got together. So when this match was first declared, and we'll get to Raw in a minute, and we'll get to everything going on with King of the Ring in a minute. But for this match, when this was announced, my thought was, what are they going to do with this? Because I feel like this is going to end one of two ways. This is the first thing I thought of, like Aaron said, because, you know, Cody, during their promo, mentioned that he cannot go a match without turning to his brass knuckles. He mentioned it, called it out. So that's where my mind went first.
See
now,
what storytelling does? It makes you pay attention.
I know, but I have a second theory. Now, this probably isn't going to happen, but there's also something else that Cody alluded to. Since they didn't outright say it was going to be a title for title match, he alluded to the fact that if he won, he would be a Grand Slam champion. So that means they are putting both titles on the line for sure.
You'll find out Friday.
Now,
you'll find out Friday.
when they do this, when they do the contract signing. Now, my thought was,
I don't think it'll be title for title.
My thought was this: since he alluded to it, there is a possibility that he wins the U.S. championship. And being who he is, I don't see him holding both titles. I would think he would just vacate that title, and there would be a tournament for it. And the reason I think this is because of what I told you before, because Paul does not wrestle all that often. I think he has other obligations. He doesn't seem to be a full-time wrestler. He's not always at the events. Defended his title twice in almost 200 days. This could possibly be a way to get him on the map for when he does do this shit full-time, but also puts him up there at the scale of, you know, a world champion competitor, universal champion competitor. And he can take his break, do whatever he has to do, and move on with it. Cody wins, gets the title, gets the claim he's a Grand Slam champion, and then vacates the title. And then there's a tournament. That's my second theory.
That's if it's title for title.
Robbie says I got it wrong. That's my second theory. I still think the DQ thing is it.
So I think Logan tries to play some slimy shit.
Of course.
Where he doesn't defend his title because he's the face of the fucking WWE. You know, that type of shit. Kind of like what he was saying in this promo.
Yeah.
That he's carried the company. He's the longest reigning champion.
See, that's funny because you actually have to show up to carry the company. You have to show up. Now I think
he works out something slimy.
Dude, I'll give him this. He's a good athlete, and he surprised me the first time I saw him in the ring. He surprised the shit out of me.
And he's great at being a heel. Have you gone back and watched that Royal Rumble?
No.
With him and Ricochet?
No, but I heard that he at first he was not happy about the fan reaction.
Yeah.
Who was it? I read it. I can't remember who it was. Someone gave him advice. Maybe Stone Cold gave him the advice, just embrace the heel, embrace being the heel.
Yeah, I think
and ever since then, he's loved it and he's fed off of it.
Yep. Oh, you could see that Friday night when we were there.
When you're supposed to be the heel and you go into an arena and you get that reaction from the fans.
Yep.
You get that reaction. You should be thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. And I'm going to tell you, that's why I like Dom Mysterio so much. This dude gets more heat than anybody I've ever seen. This dude gets more heat than Eddie Guerrero. I think someday Dom is going to be good in this company, and I think he's going to be loved by the end of his career.
Dom already is good. He already is good.
Well, I agree with you, but what I mean is he'll win titles, and he'll end up being liked by the fans. The same way that the fans embraced Eddie as a heel.
He's going to go face. Yeah, he's going to go face. The story with him and his dad's going to end up with them making up. It has to.
Robbie said Logan Paul blows Triple H to be in the spotlight. Yeah, I bet he does.
I thought that was Vince's thing. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah, poor Vince. Stephanie must be so proud.
Dude, I don't even think they talk.
It really is crazy. You see the guys running the company now. You see Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and you think about what they were back in the day.
Oh, see, you weren't.
You gotta love it.
I've done history on this now.
You watch a
Vince
lot
tried-
of documentaries.
There was a power struggle between Vince and Triple H. Triple H would bring his guys into NXT, like Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, Shawn Michaels, and then Vince would fucking fire him. And it was just back and forth. Yeah.
I think Vince's ego has been through the roof for decades now. This man is so fucking full of himself. Sorry, we're still rated R. My bad. But he's so full of himself, man. That's just I'm happy to see him gone. You know, there's a lot of people that really dislike the direction that Triple H is going. They don't think that he's doing a good job. He's got mixed reviews. Mila does like Jay.
I think he's doing great.
I think so too. I think he's doing
I can't wait until Raw goes to Netflix.
Well, you said
I'm
yourself
excited to see what they do.
You like the change in the production value.
Oh, it's fantastic now. All the new camera angles where you get to follow wrestlers in through Gorilla out the curtain.
You had KO and then you had
fantastic.
Becky Lynch.
Jey Uso comes in through the fucking crowd.
Robbie says Vince sold WWE out of spite so Stephanie and Triple H couldn't own it one day. So who owns it? Who owns it now?
TKO.
TKO.
Endeavor. Same company that owns UFC.
Okay, so when they say that The Rock is on the board of TKO, now I know what they mean. Because I never really paid attention to that part of it.
He's their wrestling guy.
Got you. Okay.
Which allows him to put his imprint in way too much.
Okay. Well, Alex says that Mila likes Jey Uso. Mila, for those of you who don't know, is my tiny baby girl who will be one soon. And she absolutely loves the Jey Uso theme song. So my daughter, since my older daughter, Lena, since going to SmackDown this past Friday, which we will talk about here in a second, she has been doing nothing but watching WWE and wrestling videos all day, all night. She listens to all the theme music. Cody Rhodes' song is on all the time. And she will play these theme songs. And when Uso's song comes on, she does the yeet thing in front of her little sister, and her little sister starts bopping. She even threw her hands up once or twice. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is the first time we get her to legitimately react to us, and it's to Jey Uso's music. Like, get out of here. Ridiculous. It's the cutest thing, though. She's adorable. So, yes.
Is going to be a wrestler.
Let's get back to that then, since we touched on it. Now, we took a little field trip. Justin, Aaron, and myself went to WWE SmackDown at Mohegan Sun Arena in Wilkes-Barre this past Friday. And it was my very first WWE event, my daughter's very first WWE event. And I don't know, Aaron's been to a bunch.
Mine.
Justin, it was your first?
It was my first one.
It was Justin's first as well. So we had a nice trip. We didn't have to wait outside for too awful long. But, I mean, it was a cool experience to see it live. Yeah, we beat the rain, thank God. It was a cool experience to see it live. I made sure. See, I'm weird when I go to events like this, man. Like, I know when we get in there, there's so many people walking around, going to the shop and everything. I wanted to find my seats. I wanted to get up there. I don't like wandering. We got in. My daughter wanted a churro. I bought a $9 fucking churro. So then I got myself a Red's Apple Ale because they had like 3 options for beer. She said, I have to pour this in a plastic cup for you. I said, oh, hell. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, whatever. It's cool. Here, have a business card. Follow the podcast. And then $16 later, really? I had a glass of beer. Yes, I did. Dude, I handed out business cards all night long. So $16 for a can of Red's Apple Ale. That was awesome. Then we decided maybe we'll go to the shop, try to get a souvenir. And we turned around, started to go back, and I said, hell no. There ain't no way. So then we went up to the seats, and it was, I want to be up close next year. But the seats that we had, you can see everything, man. Like, I thought those were pretty dope seats.
No, there wasn't a bad seat in that place.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it.
It did.
Wrestling details. It was a wrestling show now. It
seemed like it cut out a lot of the sound. Like I didn't feel it was as loud as it came across on TV. Just think
Rob
said on the floor.
they have microphones everywhere too, though.
Yeah, but
Like-
even Robbie said where he was, it was loud.
Yeah.
I mean, we were sitting on top of a bunch of people.
Yeah, and so the most important thing about when I got up to my seat, the very first thing I did was address everybody around us in our area. I said, "What's up, everybody? Nice to meet you. We're the Rowdy Crew. We apologize in advance, but we're going to be loud as hell tonight. Sorry." And as people kept rolling in, that's how I would, greet them. How you doing? We're going to be rowdy. We're your rowdy neighbors. Sorry, my bad. Just deal with it.
Video you have of the dark match when Uso came out.
Yeah, I got video
Those
of
fathers
Aaron
behind us were having none of it.
Oh my god, I don't think they were into it as much as we were, dude.
And then
I gave them business cards too.
over there.
Yeah, dude, their kids were fun though. Their kids and their friends, like they were pretty funny. They got Aaron to keep shouting shit out for him.
Yeah, I think that got to him after a little while.
The parent? Oh, to Aaron. Well, yeah, they must have poked a hole into his goddamn shoulder with how much they were asking him to do that to start the chance.
He fucked up. He fucked up when they first got there, and he leaned back and was like, "You guys want to do something with me?"
Yeah,
he fucked up.
They were hooked.
And then he had the Bulkster come over, dude, and they geeked out.
Yep. And like I told Robbie too, man.
Kid next to me proceeds to tell the kids who were just there witnessing the same thing that he got to see the guy that was wearing the Hulk costume.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, he told them like 5 times.
Dude,
like they didn't just see it.
I told Robbie, I said, dude, if I was sitting on the end section there, like we had 3 people next to me, and the woman in the middle of those 3, she was a little bit older. She had a cane. She couldn't really she didn't really want to stand up much. We had to get through once to go to the bathroom. I had to take my daughter to the bathroom, and like I had to squeeze through this tiny little space because they couldn't really stand up. Which I mean, I don't blame them because it's a crazy drop to the next section, but like to the next seats below. So if they weren't there, I would have had him come in and take pictures with the kids behind us because they literally were geeking out about the Bulkster. It was great.
Dude, it was fun.
Nick, absolutely, to be close, it has to be barricade or nothing. After seeing my daughter's reaction to Cody Rhodes coming out, I have to get close next year. I have to. And I'm gonna get front row seats. I don't care how. Don't care how I do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm getting front row seats. I'm saving starting now. I'm taking her in and I'm gonna get her.
I hope SmackDown comes back around though.
I don't care. I don't care who it is. SmackDown and Raw
because you want.
I know, but Cody. SmackDown and Raw are both this year, aren't they? Aren't both of them this year? Didn't they have Raw weeks ago or months ago, or is it coming up or something?
They had Raw was there in November.
Okay, I know they do both.
Raw's in Hershey, June 3rd.
In Hershey, that's not too awful bad. But I mean, that's a Monday night. I got to work on Tuesday, so.
Just saying.
Yeah. Mike says there was a Raw last year from the arena that the IWC complained it was so quiet, but in person the place was loud. The sound system just doesn't do the crowd justice. Really? Damn.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you know what?
Listening to it when I watched it back, it was loud. It was loud.
Well, yeah, and they commented on that. The announcers commented on that right in the beginning. You hear them say, they said, so the SmackDown and PLE over in France, in Lyon, France, has been the talk of the town all week. Now, when I watched Raw, it was quiet as hell to me. It seemed so quiet. But then when we got to Wilkes-Barre, when we got to that Mohegan Sun Arena, before anything even started, the crowd was already going nuts. They were already chanting for different wrestlers. And when that stuff started, you heard the announcers say they got the message. They said it's been the talk of the town all week. France has been the talk of the town all week. Wilkes-Barre, PA got the message. Like, it was loud. Like, you could hear it on the broadcast. It was fantastic. I'm so glad. I'm glad we got to be a part of that kind of crowd. The dull crowds, not so much. But, man, at the end of the night, my age was starting to hit me. I was starting to feel a little bit tired. Yeah, people were saying it was a horrible crowd, but this time they said it was much better. Yeah, it was fantastic. And you know what? I think next time I go, I'm going to be a little bit rowdier, and I'm going to, hopefully have enough of a name in this area with our podcast that I'm going to, try to go around and hype up the crowd pregame, you know, tell them they have to be loud, you know, show these wrestlers the recognition they deserve. Get on your feet, be noisy, chant for them, learn their goddamn songs, man. I don't know.
So
I want to be crazy. I want to have some fun. Like I told Justin, after Aaron sings the national anthem, we're going to start a USA chant at PNC Field.
When did you tell me this?
I thought I told you that the last time I talked to you. But
okay,
maybe I just told Aaron.
So you just told me right now.
Yeah, I told you right now. I told Aaron that I'm going to do the USA chant.
So you won't really have a answer to this. This is for like Robbie, Mike, Aaron. How do you feel about the Fireflies being a Jey Uso thing now? I think it was earlier today. I read the best answer there could have been. I can't remember who said it, but you don't pick the Fireflies. The Fireflies pick you. And I think it's fucking awesome. I don't even think it was an intentional thing that he did. It just started.
Yeah.
It was natural.
Right. The crowd picked him. Now, I was telling Justin before, I missed almost a whole decade of wrestling. So I did not get to see the Bray Wyatt era, all that. I did not get to see that. And I said, I wish I did. And he reminded me, you know, I have Peacock. I can go back and watch. And I will go back and watch. But just listening to people talk about Bray Wyatt, like, I'm sad that I missed this dude. I'm sad that it's taken me this long to get back into it. And it's not because I didn't like wrestling or didn't want to watch wrestling. It's because for the most part, I didn't have live TV. I couldn't watch it. We just had streaming services. But yeah, I mean, at first I was like, for how much people talk up Bray Wyatt and knowing that he passed, to go out there on X and claim the Fireflies as your own, like Jey Uso did. I was a little like standoffish about that. I was like, I don't really know about that. But I mean,
you think I do like it?
You didn't see that? The Fireflies are mine now. Yeater of the worlds or something. Yeater of worlds.
Oh, yeah.
The Fireflies are mine now. He claimed it. I don't know how I felt about that, but like you said, the Fireflies choose you. Yeah, the Fireflies choose you. Everyone decided to do it for him.
I don't think that was him claiming it. I think that was him accepting it.
I think
that was him accepting it.
Maybe.
Not claiming it.
Bray Wyatt was a special genius, creative mind, can grab any crowd, Robbie says. And Aaron
do yourself a favor. Start with the documentary they just did on him.
Okay.
Start with that.
Yeah.
And then like to understand like who he was. And then go back and watch his stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
And you asked why I'm on YouTube. Like, that's all I watch. Dude, I just go video after video.
Yeah, I'd end up down some rabbit holes if I was on YouTube all that much, man.
I've watched some matches that have no commentary with guys with fucking big old poofy fucking blonde hair. I think, all right. Like from 1984, I think it was the Midnight Express versus Rock and Roll Express. They were real creative. But the matches were way different.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see.
He went from Husky Harris and NXT to full Bray Wyatt. Big change. His entrance and his aura was just incredible. Atmosphere he created was amazing.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like I would have really liked them because of the whole Hills Have Eyes vibe.
And that's just the Wyatt really liked family. That's just that. And then he goes to the Fiend. And then he's got the whole fucking creepy ass Playhouse thing he does with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Which starts to bring in Uncle Howdy, who's his brother, Bo Dallas, who's putting all this shit together now.
Yeah, why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about all the little snippets and crazy shit?
I can't put it all together. Like, that's one thing I haven't followed. I'm terrible at following that shit.
They finally addressed it a little bit on Raw this past week.
Like,
They
it's gonna
finally
be
addressed it a little bit.
soon.
Yeah, McAfee touched on it. He's like, "Oh, yeah, these QR codes. I finally scanned mine, and it took me to what?" And he started talking about it. And the glitches have been going on for weeks, and the only thing they say is, "Oh, that was weird. Oh, that was weird." So they're finally talking about it. So, how soon do you think that Uncle Howdy comes out? Has his return, right? It would be his return.
I don't think Uncle Howdy's the first one to come out.
No,
He's
isn't that
really
who's
never
doing all
shown it.
this?
He's always stayed back. Uncle Howdy, for as much as I know, like, I didn't really pay. I
Yeah.
wasn't into it at that point. But like, he would always stay back, and it would all of a sudden he'd be there just somewhere in the arena, and the light would hit him, and that was it. So I don't think he's the first one. I
So
think the whole the Wyatt 6, I guess, is what they're calling it right now. I think that's going to be all assembled before Uncle Howdy actually shows up.
here's a here's a theory and a half. Michael says he interferes with the Cody and Logan Paul match, and that's how it's a DQ.
Okay, so here's my issue with that. Make it make sense. Why interfere in that match? There's no history there between the Wyatt family and Cody. There's no history there between the Wyatt family and Logan.
Does there have to be?
Make sense?
Do you think it's just
that's all
because
part
of the
You're
moment?
not just going to come back to do it. That's not what they do.
You don't think it's for the moment, for the spotlight, to make a statement?
That's not what they do. No. See, Aaron even said the same thing. It doesn't make sense.
Well,
that's the difference between AEW and WWE.
Okay, but Robbie says Wyatt 6 appears in Saudi Arabia. He didn't say during the Cody match, like Mike says, but he said that they do appear in Saudi Arabia. Do you think there's a chance that they are there?
If they do, LA Knight is in the finals of the King of the Ring, and they interfere in that match because LA Knight was Bray Wyatt's last match.
Did he beat Bray Wyatt in his last match?
No, he lost.
Okay. Justin does know everything. I know.
No, I'm just
Justin watches all. Justin watches all the videos. He's got a good grasp on this. That's why you'll see Justin taking lead.
Strowman in Saudi.
You'll see Justin taking lead of NDT Squared Circle Sessions.
Yeah, sure.
On Wednesdays. Oh, you're gonna have. It's all yours, Aaron. It's all yours, baby.
See, that makes sense. If Strowman's wrestling in Saudi, he was an original member of the Wyatt family.
Yes. And I was going to say this before because I thought that Strowman was an original part of that group with the Fireflies. I was going to say instead of Uso taking the Fireflies, I would have thought that people would have used it for him. That's what I would have thought. He's never been
a big draw for the crowd, though.
And that's
he's always just been a beast. That's it.
Since I started watching again, seeing that dude, I like watching his matches, and then listening to him off of the main stage, listening to his interviews and listening to him talk to people. I think he seems like a really stand-up dude. He seems genuine. He seems cool, down to earth. I like him.
Yeah. No,
I like Braun Strowman. How do you the Wyatts would interfere with Strowman and bring him back over to the faction? Strowman is the longest reigning Saudi champ. What is that? Wait, what do you mean by that? He's the longest reigning Saudi champ.
I think WWE had a title called that.
Oh, really? See, it's been so long since I got back into it earlier this year. It's crazy.
That I wouldn't know. That I never would have even paid attention to.
So before, Mike said that his money is on Gunther for King of the Ring. I think a lot of people might feel that way too, because he lost the Intercontinental title for a reason, and that was to elevate himself and go after the World Championship. Robbie said it was a hint that they put on the screen. It had the date in Roman numerals. That's why he thinks that they're gonna appear in Saudi.
or one of them. I think that's going to be a piece by piece thing. I
Yeah.
think it's going to slowly come together. But on Raw Monday, apparently on some backstage interviews, there were some funky camera workings where like the camera would like readjust to intentionally get somebody in the background on.
I've been noticing that a lot lately. I just don't know who they're focusing on.
From the still frames I saw,
there was a man.
Like
there was a man and a woman. There was a man and a woman in the background
like
of the one scene. I kept trying to see it. I'm like, who the heck? Because you could see. Well, I forget who they were talking to, but the camera kept tipping back behind the interviewee or the interviewer. I can't remember the girl's name. They kept trying to look behind her.
Yeah, who? Nikki Cross could. She's rumored to be part of this Wyatt Six, and she plays a great psycho. she's something. It would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They've done that a lot because there was a couple of weeks ago where you kind of got the glimpse of Dom and Liv walking out of the same room.
Yeah. That's where I started noticing it. There was
did
another.
Did you notice the bandana?
I was going to tell you that there was another one. I saw the image of it. I didn't watch it on camera. I didn't see that one on camera, but the little purple, the piece of the purple handkerchief.
Just a little bit of it sticking out.
Yep. That's new mommy.
And those are the little things that like just separate the two companies right now. Like AEW doesn't know how to do that.
And you really can't watch just for the matches. You don't think that the matches are fun to watch. You'd rather sit there and watch promos.
Those guys are as good as they think.
And now I'm not saying AEW is better than WWE, but it seems like there's a lot of gatekeeping going on. Like there's a lot of people from the AEW fans that say WWE is trash, and then WWE says AEW is trash, and it's like
I'm not saying it's trash. It's
can't you just enjoy it? Can't you just enjoy all of it? Like you watch WWE for the story.
I don't enjoy it. That's why I don't watch it.
You don't like the matches? I haven't watched much of it, but you don't like any of the matches?
I don't think they're that I don't think they're that good.
How about TNA?
I've watched. I wouldn't even know where to watch that.
YouTube,
but the
apparently.
Top guy over there right now, I've watched 2 matches, and I've watched him botch so much shit. It's so hard for me to watch that. Like they had a
WWE has had its fair share of botches recently.
When Edge jumped over, or his contract was up, and he wanted to work with Christian.
Mm-hmm.
That was a dud on their writing. They botched that so bad.
They should have brought back the Brood.
He wanted to.
I read an article from him, or maybe it was I watched him.
He wanted to.
Yeah, I watched something on
when he was making the heel turn again in his last run in WWE. He mentioned bringing back Gangrel. And they just kept telling him nobody remembers.
Yeah, I did see. Yep, that's the one I read. But didn't he want to do the entrance? He wanted to bring back the Brood, Edge, and like wear the get up and do the entrance with the fire and all that for WrestleMania or something. That would have been awesome, dude. That was one of my favorite actions.
Nobody remembers.
Nah,
that's what he got told. That's why they shot it down. And that to me was a Vince thing.
Yeah. That was my favorite faction, man. Gangrel. And I might reach out to Gangrel soon because I follow him over on Instagram for us. I might reach out to him and see if he'll join the show sometime. Who knows? He probably won't, but you never know. Got to shoot your shots when you can, right? I mean, we've had some people before. We've had some famous people on here before. Maybe they'll join us.
Never on this show. We've never had anybody on this show.
You're true. You're true. You're true right there. This is new.
I am true. It's true. It's true.
Yes. This wrestling thing's brand new to us. Brandy spanking new. But yeah, we have someone on the hook that's gonna be a cool chat, but keeping it under wraps for now until it's official. But Gangrel would be cool. Maybe we'll try him.
We got sidetracked. We were on Gunther being the favorite.
Oh yeah, Gunther.
So
his next match, his next opponent. Main event.
Jey Uso.
Main event.
which was our dark match. We got to see them
I'm not surprised,
work
Robbie.
on things.
Yeah, we got to see them in the dark match Friday night. That was pretty cool. But you knew that they were going to DQ in that dark match. As soon as they announced that's who it was, I'm like, who the hell are they going to have win that match? But you and Aaron both, you called out what was going to happen after the DQ. As soon as there was a DQ, you both turned and said, Cody's coming out. Cody's coming out to help him. And sure as shit, here comes Cody Rhodes.
So I don't think Gunther's going to win it.
You don't think he beats Uso?
I'm not saying he doesn't beat Uso. If he makes the finals, I don't think he wins it.
So here's my question. Uso was a last-minute add to King of the Ring because they pulled McIntyre. Now, first off, do you think that was a planned thing? Like that was part of the game plan, or do you think that was like a move because he's actually hurt? What's up, Josh?
No, that was the game. That was the game plan.
Okay.
I believe.
So if that was the game plan, they did it with a couple of wrestlers. They did it with Lashley.
It may have been a last
storytelling, man. Storytelling.
I think the match in France and the reaction he got in France made it so they had to get him into the tournament.
Yeah, so here's my question. Everyone's claiming Gunther's the favorite. I agree that with him dropping the IC title, that was planned in order to boost him to a higher level.
You don't have to win King of the Ring to do that.
I was going to say a lot of people think that because they're doing that, Gunther's got to be the favorite to win this because they want to elevate him. But if Uso's not going to win the world title right now, like you saw him already lose, all right? You saw him already lose the Priest. If they're not going to give him a world title yet, don't you think maybe they're going to give him King of the Ring? And
you know who else is number one King of the Ring?
Who?
Randy Orton.
Ah, yes. But there's something I saw pointed out earlier today on social media. There's a possibility that Uso could meet Tama Tonga in the finals. If they want to progress this bloodline storyline,
that's what's going to happen.
If they want to progress the bloodline storyline, and you and Aaron are adamant that it's going to be a War Games in a couple of months. What event? SummerSlam? Is that what you're thinking?
No.
What ones did you guys say? Survivor Series. You guys are thinking this War Games is going to happen. And if that's the case, this story, I think, needs a big buildup. And don't you think that might start soon?
It started the first Friday after WrestleMania.
Yes, I know the split and Roman Reigns not coming back and yada, yada. But they're slowly adding more components. They're slowly adding more people. But you need to start that other side of the bloodline is what I'm getting at. You need to start both. Like, you got to get that second side set up, right? If you guys think two sides of the faction are going to go at it, you have to have that second side. When are you going to start building it?
You build it when Jey Uso is about to beat Randy Orton, and you have Tonga Loa,
damn Robbie,
jump in, or because the bloodline can't have anybody from the family be King of the Ring if it's not somebody in the bloodline.
So I also read that Tama Tonga's father was King of the Ring, and he also at one point went by the name King Tonga. Do you think that
not
could have
yet?
Do you think that could have anything to do with it? Well, now if this is something that could happen, Uso versus Tonga in the finals, don't you think the bloodline could get involved there and cost Uso the King of the Ring?
That's what I was just saying.
That's where it starts up. No, I thought that you just said Tonga's not going to win it yet.
No, Tonga's not gonna. I think it's gonna be Uso.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's not. I don't think. You don't have to put him against Tonga to make that storyline work.
Josh, I think that's the fun in it.
And I don't
You don't have to.
I don't think Tonga's ready for a main event at a PLE yet. He is very new.
Is
to the company.
the King of the Ring finals is the main event at that PLE? Because I thought that we were getting Cody
No,
versus
it'll probably
Paul
be
as the
Logan
main
Paul,
event.
Cody Rhodes. It'll be
That
like a
is the main
co-main
event.
event.
Mike says Roman versus Solo at SummerSlam, where Solo wins, then the build to War Games. See, Mike's on board with the War Games.
That's inevitable. That's gonna happen
After SummerSlam. Aaron's adamant about King Yeet. I'm not against that theory. I'm not against that theory at all.
But if he doesn't win it,
they got to give him something.
I'm gonna assume it's him versus Randy. If he doesn't win it, the Bloodline's involved in costing him winning it.
Yeah.
And that starts building him and Tama Tonga.
Yeah.
Because Solo's the acting high chief or whatever the fuck
now
he
you
is,
know
head of the
you
table.
know damn well that was a lie, right? That he got a hold of Roman Reigns. That has to be a lie, right? He's lying to Paul Heyman.
Well, they've all talked to Roman Reigns since fucking WrestleMania. Let's be honest.
In real life, yes, but that's okay. So
in the storyline, absolutely not.
That's
absolutely
what he said Monday night. He said,
Friday.
Whenever it was. I'm getting my days mixed up. But anyway, he said to him, he's like, oh, yeah, I spoke to Roman and I'm acting tribal chief till he returns. That's BS, right?
It is, because he actually spoke to The Rock.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah, now
that's
that
where
makes
your
sense.
split's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because you already have the tension between Rock and Roman. The spear, the both of them with the side eyes, not really trusting each other through that whole fucking process, except for that they were family.
That was supposed to be the original story, the original main event at WrestleMania. It's going to be
at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas.
Let's say they sidestepped. So now you're right. They're going to do it. They're going to do it again. It's not like The Rock is going to be out of shape next year and won't be able to do this.
The Rock's going to have like 3 more matches before that. I
was going to get to that eventually here, but I did want to just say to finish up the King of the Ring thing. I think with how Uso's been going and now he's a solo wrestler, he's main event Jey Uso. They haven't given him a title yet, a solo's title. So I feel like they have to give him something to satisfy the fans. I think he walks away as King of the Ring. I think this Gunther match is going to determine the winner of King of the Ring. Gunther and Jey Uso, the winner takes it all. That's my pick.
Made Jey Uso King of the Ring.
It might very well have.
That reaction in France and Triple H's reaction to it in the press conference afterwards. He's never seen an entrance like that.
Yeah. This is an interesting theory. If it's him and Randy Orton, imagine the swerve where the bloodline costs Orton the King of the Ring and Uso wins. That's Rock wins the Royal Rumble and challenges Cody and beats him night 1. Night 2, Roman wins it back. Now that's thinking like 300 steps ahead. I mean, maybe that could make it really interesting.
I don't think The Rock's willing to do 2 nights in a row again.
Listen, that dude, there's no way he could have been that gassed. Right? He looked pretty good for his age. All he does is train. I feel like he could pull off 2 nights in a row. Maybe he doesn't want to, but that would make it interesting. That could be something, man.
I don't know. I have long-term theories. I won't get into those.
But save it for another show.
War Games is happening.
Yeah.
I'm now convinced that Jey Uso is going to win King of the Ring because of France. It makes sense now. They can't not give it to him.
Robbie, you know what, man? I'm honestly surprised that they don't do more shows overseas, because the worldwide acceptance or excitement about WWE is like top tier. It's unbelievable. And honestly, it's like that for a lot of American sports. You see the NFL go over to Europe and the crowds there are crazy because you get all those people who are used to watching soccer matches and their chants, they're always into it. It's so much different over there. It's so much
Bro, just
different.
think, how many people were at Backlash? Like 12,000. Right? Maybe 17. So either 5,000 more or the same amount of people as were there Friday night. And the fucking place was shaking.
Yeah. Imagine them doing one live event a month, like one TV event a month over there.
That
European
crowd,
crowds are pretty awesome.
was.
They know how to have fun, man. Listen, you go to some sporting events over here in the States, because it's all I know. But I say this because it's all I know. But these people, like, I feel like a lot of people are very timid here because they're afraid they're going to get looked at funny. Man, when you're going to an event, you're there to have a good time, and everyone else is the same way. You shouldn't be embarrassed to get into it. You shouldn't be embarrassed to yell, scream, and have a good time, because that's what the hell you're there for, man. So go and have a good damn time. Yell your fucking head off. Who cares? Imagine 80K in a stadium. That would be epic. Yeah. God, yeah, man. That'd be insane. Mike says,
Imagine
save
WWE
this theory
going
now.
to Wembley and selling Wembley out. How loud it would be.
Okay, Aaron says, okay, boys, NFL schedule release time. Maybe I'll make a reel about it later. Let's do it. Make them reels, baby.
I got the Giants going 9-8.
Oh, yeah, with number 32 ranked Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So your prediction. Who you got? Men's King of the Ring. Who you got winning?
I think Uso. I think they have to put something on him. They have to give him some kind of hardware. Or the fans riot.
Stick with. I think France fucking won it for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had to pull a quick audible, and McIntyre just re-signed. So they were like, all right, we can pull him. He's locked up for a little bit.
Mike says, go Birds. I forgot to mention he's an Eagles fan.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
You'll have fun with him on the wrestling show, Justin.
All right. Who you got for the women? We haven't even talked about that.
Ah, God. Who's still in it? You got Io Sky. You got Jade and Bianca. I have to look at the bracket. I don't remember the bracket. Is there a chance that Jade and Bianca fight each other or wrestle each other?
Yes. It's not going to happen.
Well, here's my theory. They put Jade with Bianca to learn a little bit. They gave her some hardware. They gave her the tag team titles because she's a beast. Do you think that if those two wrestled each other, that might be the end of the tag team? And
that's why it won't happen that fast.
That would cost them the title in an upcoming match because they, start to get at odds because of that match. They lose the titles, and then Jade makes her run at the women's championship.
Eventually, yes. Right now, it doesn't make sense. It's too fast. They just won them at Backlash.
Yeah, I know, but they're not. My thing is, they're solo competitors. They're not built for the tag division, and I think that they did that just to try to get Jade some extra work and let her work with a pro who could help her along. And now that's why I think that this is a possibility. I don't know if they're going to wrestle each other.
Them win this Friday.
No. Who are their matches? I don't have it in front of me. Who are their matches? Let me look.
Bianca's against Tiffy.
I kind of hope she wins.
And Jade's against Nia.
I can't do this whole Nia talk again.
Jade eliminated Nia from the Rumble. So she's going to do everything she can, and she's going to win. And
so
Tiffy is going to beat Bianca because her and Nia have fucking issues.
Yeah.
And Tiffy is going to be the queen of the ring.
You think Tiffany's going to be queen of the ring?
She's over. She's the most over female they have.
You think so? As a heel?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
And Queen Tiffy.
See, I'm thinking that they give...
The Raw side doesn't even matter.
What's up, Dan? What's up, Dan?
Looking at Raw's women's roster, without Rhea, they have really nothing.
I like Io Sky, whatever. I don't know how
Yeah.
to say it. I like her. I think
But
she's a
she's got no
phenomenal
personality.
athlete. No, she comes into the ring like she's drunk, just like Shinsuke Nakamura, who I happen to actually enjoy. But she's a phenomenal athlete. I love watching her in the ring. But she held the women's title. She just lost it. I don't think she wins it. I feel like they're going. I don't see them giving Jade the women's championship soon. I think it's still a little bit away. But I think to appease the fans, maybe they give her Queen of the Ring. I would like to see Tiffany win. Jade.
That's who I think it is. I think it's Tiffy.
I would like Tiffany to win. I think Jade's going to take it.
Jade has her belt.
Yeah.
I think Lyra Valkyria
I like her.
Is going to come out of Raw.
I really like her. Yeah, she's going to beat Io Sky. That's right. She's going to beat Io Sky.
If you go back to NXT, her and Stratton have issues. Or had issues. Had run-ins, whatever.
That would be a fun finals.
And since Stratton is so over for being a heel, she's going to be Queen Tiffy.
Oh, just add that moniker to her.
That's why they're going to do it.
And then Valkyria getting her to the finals right off of being drafted, coming up from NXT. Yep. Even if she doesn't win, just getting to the finals,
and she's
the
getting
first
the
month
push
of being
from
up.
Becky.
Yeah,
she's getting that big push from Becky.
I think Valkyria is going to be good. I really like watching her. She had some slip ups in her last match. She had some botches, but they weren't that terrible. Like, she's exciting. She's fiery. I do like watching her. She's pretty cool. Her and Tiffany would be great.
Your wife's fucking comment way up there about knowing everything. Listen, lady.
Oh my God, that's going way back.
Last 2 PLEs, I've missed 1 match.
Yeah. All right. So there are our predictions for King and Queen of the Ring. Do we have anything else you want to touch on before we head out for the night?
No.
No? That's it?
No.
All right. When can people expect this? So we're going to end up doing a live every other week, and then they can expect a recording the weeks that we're not live. Yes?
Correct. Yes,
but
sir.
We will still put the recordings out on Wednesdays. Yeah?
Yeah, same time.
Yep. Okay.
Maybe just like Wednesday, whenever, but.
Yep. And who knows? Maybe we'll even take that video. We'll play it live on Wednesdays. Even though you're not here, you'll still be here. And then Aaron and I will sit here and talk to people in chat while we play the video live for everyone. Maybe. Maybe
That's
not.
Weird.
Maybe not. It's an idea.
That's just a whole lot of talking.
It's just something fun. Okay, so before we head out for the night, I just want to let you guys know, make sure you check out ndtpodcast.com for all things NDT. You can check out the stories that have been put up there, AI-generated stories from your comments on our posts over on Facebook throughout the week. Jared has been doing a fantastic job with that. You can check out our sponsors under the sponsors tab. You click sponsors, scroll down. You can get clickable links to their pages. We have added one more sponsor to the crew, Dragon's Den Gaming, downtown Honesdale, PA. We will be getting their stuff together soon for them. They will be a part of our show as well. You can check out our shop, new stuff going in there all the time. Jared's on top of that. Absolutely fantastic. This upcoming Sunday, May 19th, I get to try my hand as a ring announcer for the very first time for a local wrestling company, High Ground Pro Wrestling. Make sure you guys go follow them on Facebook and over on YouTube. Their first event in June is June 1st. Their next event, I should say, is June 1st. That is my first event with High Ground Pro Wrestling. So hopefully,
did you watch Two of the Greatest do it on Monday?
What
did you try to?
Take anything from? I was trying to soak it in, Lillian Garcia. So yeah, I've tried to take notes. It's going to hopefully be my first show with them, and hopefully I can manage just fine. If you guys need information, you want to go hang out with us over in Mayfield at the Falcon's Nest. Check out High Ground Pro Wrestling on Facebook and on YouTube. And what time? What I'll get to that. The event on June 1st, I believe, is at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. It is to benefit one of their wrestlers' wives who had a double mastectomy. She has stage 4 breast cancer, so all proceeds will go towards helping their family. It's something that's near and dear to my heart. My mother also had stage 4 breast cancer, was in the same position, fought with that for 6 whole years. So yes, I care about that. It's near and dear to me. So if you guys could come hang out with us at the Falcon's Nest on June 1st, that would be fantastic. The next show that will be live is this upcoming Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The next time Justin will be joining us is on Monday. Make sure you're there for that fantastic episode, because he is a superstar. He is what drives us forward, baby.
So, all right, let's end on this. Aaron asked it the last time we did one of these wrestling episodes. Well, a wrestling episode, not the wrestling show.
Jared's absolutely right, by the way.
I know.
The content will be better.
So the question he posed was your favorite commentators. I don't know how he meant it. You can pick a pair or a person from one era and a person from another era.
Oh, you're asking me.
I'm putting you on the spot.
You're asking me.
I had time to think about my answer.
Let's see. I really like that they added Pat McAfee. He's different. He gives a different perspective. He gives a different type of voice. And he gives a different type of
business.
Yeah, he's not from the business. He's like us. He's like fans, and he's a fan, and he's got that energy about him, man. And I really enjoy that. As far as classic commentary goes, I mean, I like Jim Ross, man. I like Jim Ross. There's some people that I just don't get behind. I mean, Michael Cole does a great job of the play-by-play kind of thing, but I don't need a play-by-play. I want reactions. I want personal stories. I want a little bit of comedy. I want to be, drawn in, but I don't really need a play-by-play. Jim Ross was good with it, though. He did all right. It's just his reactions, I guess. And because that's like the era I grew up in, that's the kind of stuff I watched.
So what's funny about Jim Ross is he did all those reactions knowing it was going to happen.
Yeah, that's pretty tough to act.
Like Mankind getting thrown off the cage, he had no clue about.
Or going through the cage because that was an accident.
Finish. Yeah. But I don't know. I agree with McAfee. If I had to pick a duo, I would probably go with what I grew up with, Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. I don't think anybody else could have pulled that off like they did.
Yeah. That was a classic duo, man. They really were good together.
But if I could put Pat McAfee with Bobby the Brain Heenan, dude, that would be fucking wild.
Said. Oh my God, I forgot Taz did it. How did I forget Taz did it, Mike? Taz was great. I liked him.
So
I liked him.
No, he left me with that question last time, so I figured we'd answer it. Not sure if he's still listening. He could type his answer in chat.
Maybe he's in there, or maybe he's doing something super important right now.
Yeah, super right.
All right, so that's it. That's it for tonight.
Yeah. We got to come up with a different question now. Well, not now, but
what to leave people with? The question. Here's a question for everybody. If you haven't followed us on all our social media platforms, why have you not done so?
Not?
Why? That's a big question. Why? Anywho,
that's a good one.
This upcoming Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. People, if you are on our Facebook page, please do us as one solid. Go over to our profile, go to our page, click those 3 dots over by the profile picture, scroll over to where it says invite friends, and then make sure you click invite all. Make sure that you invite your friends and family to the nonsense over here, because this is all about you guys. It's not just about us, it's about you guys. We're here to be interactive. We want to hear your thoughts on everything, especially with this wrestling show. That's what's going to make it great. I'm going to love to be a part of and just listen to the arguments back and forth between these guys and you guys. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about getting the wrestling show going. So make sure you invite your friends to the page. Thank you so much for following, for watching, for liking, for sharing everything that you guys do. Join us this upcoming Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Guys, it's going to be fantastic. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend until Sunday.
You left me all perplexed. Later.